the upcoming release of Mulan, I decided to review each Disney live-action remake. Yesterday, I did The Jungle Book 1994, which you can find right up there, and today I'm doing 101 Dalmatians. What are my thoughts on this movie? Let's find out. "101 Dalmatians." So 101 Dalmatians tells a story about two dogs having all these puppies, and then this person, Cruella, wants these puppies to turn them into a fur coat. Oh boy. Before we get started, please just remember that this is just my opinion. My opinion isn't the right opinion, it's just my opinion. I would love to hear your opinions down below. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so, Jaws 3. Is this movie bad? In my opinion, yes. Really bad. But it's really entertaining and fun to watch. It might be my most rewatchable bad movie of all time. That was my initial reaction from this movie. It is ridiculous in almost every way. We'll get more to that later. But this movie is so entertaining with these vibrant action sequences that really make this movie. I think that's what it was aiming for. It got it. Glenn Close plays the villain Cruella. She's so over the top in almost every way. She yells and screams everywhere. I think Glenn Close was the perfect choice to play Cruella. Glenn Close's character isn't intimidating or doesn't have any foundation or emotional depth that makes us understand why she wants to turn these puppies into fur. She also doesn't have any backstory. But I think the movie knows that. It's supposed to be fun, and that's what it is. Yes, it does struggle from a character and emotional standpoint, especially with the dogs. I find it could have been a mistake and a good call to make the dogs talk. In the original one, each puppy had its own unique sense of charisma and distinct personality. Here, well, a few of the scenes could have been a bit awkward. I understand having each puppy and dog talk could have been a bad decision, but here each puppy has less of a personality that makes their characters, and feel more like things to get the plot going without much depth behind it, which is one of the consequences of live action. This movie does get the basic narrative structure, but behind that, there isn't much weight. Fun fact, the game featured at the end of this movie was actually released. I haven't played it. I find it cool that you can actually escape from Cruella in the game. It's called Escape from Devil Manor. Check it out if that sounds cool. Also, when you remake an animated movie into live action with animals, it's hard to tell what the dogs are feeling. Certain times it was done pretty well, but others not exactly. For example, this is Pongo happy, Pongo sad. The way we knew about how these dogs and puppies were feeling was from the world around them. Like there's one scene where a human's sad, so we assume the dog's sad, right? That also removes what makes each character unique. What if the human was sad, but the dog wasn't? That would create more of a distinct personality, character, and weight, which was lacking here in this movie. Overall, I find this movie was fun, but behind that there isn't much, as there was in the original. I'm gonna give 101 Dalmatians a C-.
Quick soundtrack reviews.
The soundtrack was composed by Michael Kamen. I find the soundtrack fit in with the movie pretty well, with some decent cues. But where the soundtrack lacked for me was originality or finishing the cues. Some tones or unique songs would be set up, but then they realize, oh no, that's already taken from something, so then they end it off in a weird way, so it feels kind of anticlimactic. I'm gonna give this soundtrack a 7 out of 10.